Today, we are here with the head coach for Women's Weekend 2020, Rae Gandolf.
Thanks very much for that.
So, we're here at Rae's and we're talking about, you're here riding, so you came up from where you live and rode and checking out all the new changes and stuff, first time you've been here this year. But today is the day that registration opens.
Yeah.
And it opened
On the drive up at 2 o'clock.
about 2 o'clock this afternoon. And I mean, we've been kind of looking at the numbers here and there and like, are we at 100 yet?
Yeah, honestly, I driving up and got a text from Brooke, and it made me remember, oh yeah, it opened, looked, and 2:30, it was said like 85 out of 125. It's like, oh wow, it's like over half full in half an hour. So I was pretty excited, and yeah, now it's over 100, and it'll be interesting to see if it might actually sell out in 24 hours. That'd be pretty wild. I mean, it's awesome and it's exciting at the same time. I wish we could have everybody in. That's what I actually posted on Facebook. I said, I wish we could just make Rae's like double or triple the size and have twice as many coaches, and everybody who wanted to come could come.
Yeah, but it's just not possible.
Right, yeah.
I mean, we can only hold so many people. We only have so many bikes. And it really is like the best of the best coaches. Like, I mean, it is the best.
Yeah, I really don't know of any other event like it. And there's a lot of great events out there. I'm not taking away from any of that, but how long it's been going and how much we've been able to hone it, and the coaches that come from across the country to do this, it's a pretty unique experience for sure.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, we've honed it in a little bit. Me more on the back end of things. I'm just kind of like the plane coming in, I'm just going like this. Yeah, sure, whatever, yeah, that sounds great, But it's Brooke now this year that's helping out a lot and basically running the show. But it really has become way more streamlined. And before, it was a free event and it was just come and ride. And then we found out that people really want the instruction. They're coming for instruction. Sure, like coming and hanging out with other people with the same abilities and the same interests, that's great, and we have a whole other weekend for that. But the private event, the one that's on Friday, is really more for instruction.
Yeah, it's, I think the whole uniqueness about it is, this is a pretty intimidating place, and it can be, especially your first time here, anybody, male, female.
True.
And I mean, mountain biking in general is intimidating. So I think at the start, it was just a way to say, hey, this is intimidation free, no competition, just here to show you the place and introduce you to this kind of riding. And as that developed, we just built on the skill portion of that, which is more and more women are just looking for that, which is awesome, and that'll help you ride better here, better on the trail. So it evolved to that, and definitely that's what it's about. And what's wild is now we have a lot of repeat offenders. This is the most consistent thing I've probably ever done in my life, because this is 13 now, and I've been there for all 13 years, which is, I don't usually do the same thing over and over like that. But that's how much I love it. But anyway, now we're getting all these riders also, then they just want more. Now they want the next level. So it's even a challenge to say, okay, we really have to have these solid coaches. And what's awesome is at the same time, coaching has really evolved.
Yes.
So I guess fortunately they're going in the same direction, but it's interesting to like keep it kind of matching the riders' abilities. And at the same time, you really just want to get those new people coming too. And again, it's something that, as a guy, I don't think you can experience. And, Heath, my husband, has said he's been jealous of it. And it's just crazy what happens when all these women come out here and just ride and support each other. And your riding can have breakthroughs that you just never expected. And it's just this I mean, I can't believe I'm like 5 minutes in and getting this corny already, but it's true. It's just amazing how it happens, and it's this kind of powerful thing, and it's awesome. So that's what Rae's does and allows, and it's just this unique setting. So it just takes a lot to make that all happen, but really it's all the people who are here that just make it happen. So.
Yeah, so it's the coaching, number one, super high level coaching. For two, it's indoors, so you never have to worry about signing up for something that's not going to happen, right? I mean, other than something tragic happens or whatever,
Right,
but I mean, we're not. Yeah. So there's no rain outs, there's no snow outs, there's nothing like that. Like, this is what the indoors is built for. Like, if it's horrible weather, we're still going to be open and we're still going to have the event. So that's kind of a peace of mind too, knowing that when you sign up for something, you know it's going to happen no matter what. So that's even better.
Yeah.
But you talked about progression a little bit, and the progression of riding, the technology of the bikes are getting better and better. Access to land, more trails are being built. Like, more people are getting into the sport, and then the people who are still staying in the sport are progressing, and they're going. So you have like this super wide variety of women who are progressing to your level, to Brooke's level, stuff like that. But then you've got all these other people who are just coming into the sport. Those are the ones, those are the women that you want to come to the event, to really bring them in and show them, like, get them started on the right foot. Yeah. So that, like you said, even riding in the woods is very intimidating to someone who's never done it before. And then coming here, which is even a little more intimidating, because some people have never seen like a lip or a ramp or something to go over top of. Somebody's never seen anything like that. They don't even, just being able to go up and over that is an accomplishment, is a breakthrough, like you said. Yeah. So it's such a wide variety of people that come and do that. And it is the camaraderie. It is that breakthrough moment that happens on that day and all weekend constantly. Like, almost every 5 minutes, there's somebody doing something that they've never done before.
Exactly.
And the place explodes. And we're up front, we're trying to stay out of things. You guys are doing your thing. And we hear, wow, oh my God, and we're just like, yeah. Like, we know what's going on. Somebody did something they've never done before. And it's just as simple as like going over a log.
Exactly. Yeah, it could be. Clearing a jump for the first time.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
It could just be riding something this wide that's actually 10 foot long. Even if it's only that high off the ground, that's. I mean, I remember when that was huge for me. So,
bridges.
Yeah, right.
Bridges in the woods. Uh-huh. There are people that I know that will stop at the bridge and not go over the bridge because it's different. They're not comfortable with it. But if they come here and maybe do something like that here, it erases that fear. And when you come to it, you're like, oh, I've done this before. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
So it is great. And I think this is, I don't want to toot your horn, our horn, but I think this is probably one of the biggest women's weekend events almost anywhere, right? I mean, wouldn't you say? I mean, there might be some stuff overseas, but this is the one that's been consistent.
Right.
Every year for 13 years now, and a lot of the same coaches come back, which is great, and it's just such a great experience.
Yeah, it's really something special. And when I had the opportunity to take the lead on some of it a couple years ago, there was no way I could turn that down because of how special it is. And I want to be as involved as I can, pretty much.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And of course, you're a fantastic coach. And of course, you're an instructor trainer as well. So you teach coaches how to coach. So that in itself, I think, is an interesting part of it. Because you see things obviously from the rider point of view, and then you see things from the coach's point of view, and then you see things from actually even above that, where you see the whole thing kind of happening.
Right.
And it's just unique to me because there's so many different variables when it comes to coaching and analyzing the rider and going through those steps and just knowing all that stuff. Like, you kind of have to do it a lot. to be able to be really good at it.
You do.
I think.
Yeah, it wasn't. Got a certification first in, I think it was 2010, and coached for a couple of years, but it wasn't until 2 or 3 years after that, at least, that I really started doing a lot. And then I started coaching coaches, and then it was like, yeah, I didn't even know a fraction the last few years. You know, I mean, you're right. It's just all that time putting it together. It just builds and builds and builds, and there's a lot of levels to it.
Yeah.
And the place like this is really cool because on one hand, you can say, okay, we can definitely just practice this feature and it's going to be the same all day long, and that's awesome. But then you do have to, there's all these challenges like the spacing, and okay, we're just going to go backwards here, and then that group can fit right there. And there's just, I mean, the maps, the literal maps, especially last year when there were a bunch of changes to the place and I was setting up coaching plans that I had like all over my desk, was kind of ridiculous, really.
How are we going to fit this many people in here, this
yes,
many people in
trying
there?
to fit the most people possible, but
Right.
also provide a really good, reasonably personalized experience for all of them.
So if we backtrack a little bit, because that's where I was kind of going with it a little bit, was that before it was just open to everybody and they just,
Right.
it was a free event and all the girls got together and it was just a great time. Then we kind of figured out from the feedback that people wanted instruction. So we dedicated the Friday from the 8 to 4 time slot as women only, and only pre-registered participants
Right.
were to come, and those people are getting instruction. Like, there's very few, if any at all, people that are just coming just to ride the park. Like it nowadays that just doesn't happen, I guess. But the reason that we put a limit on it, and the limit is what, 125 or something, 125, is that, just like you said, that personalized instruction, and that's what we got the feedback from. Most of the ladies who came said, well, it was good, but there was a lot of people and it was very hard. And then the coaches gave us feedback too. And you as a coach, I as a coach, instructor, would say the smaller the group, the better.
Right.
That way you can give that person that individual experience and that attention to detail that they need, because everybody's so different when they're riding, and there's so many things that you have to look at to really pinpoint what needs to be corrected, what they're doing good, what they're not doing good. So that's why we've done it like we're doing it now.
Right.
Or you're doing it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's the smaller the group,
We
the better.
actually have fewer participants, so we limit it at 125, but we actually have almost double the coaches. We have 11 or 12 head coaches, but last year we brought on almost 10 assistants, and honestly though, all the assistant coaches have certifications and have experience, so they're coaches in their own right, hands down. So we're 20 coaches, so whatever the math is, I don't know. It's pretty easy, but I'm going to say it's something, I tried to keep it at that sort of 6 to 1, not going over 6 to 1 students per coach. And you have a group of 10 or 12 people, but if you have 2 coaches with them, that's at 6 to 1. And that's where that's where I find I can really give some meaningful critiquing that's going to help that person progress beyond that day. When you get to groups of 10 to 1, can you get something out of it? Yes, but it definitely drops down pretty quickly after 6 or 7 people per coach.
Right. Yeah, I think we've gotten so much good feedback from the years that we've been doing it now. Way better feedback. Everybody's been super stoked on the event. We have stuff in the morning for them when they show up in the morning, little snacks, little OJs. Actually, it's not orange juice, it's Sunny D. And it's, some other things. And then we have lunch from Fatheads, which is so good.
Yeah, it has been really good.
Oh my gosh. So they're back on board again this year, and the chef is really excited about doing the same thing. He had some good feedback too, actually, about the lunch, and he's really stoked about doing it.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, because he said that is a great idea. It wasn't his idea. It was, we kind of threw around some stuff, but the lunch has been amazing, and then we do a big raffle, and the sponsors have come through big time every year.
Definitely.
So it's definitely the biggest event that we have here for sure.
Right, hands down. Throwing all that together,
Yeah.
it's an awesome
Yeah.
awesome event for everyone, coaches, students,
Right.
like I think the employees, even like you've said, you get a little pumped by hearing all the good stuff going on. And
I mean, it's
So,
always
yeah, it's just
it's
great.
always good to hear the good stuff. It's never good to hear the bad stuff. Nobody wants to hear the bad stuff, but we get very few of that. Very few of the
Yeah.
bad stuff, you know. But I'm looking forward to 2020 Women's Weekend. Like we talked about before, we're getting close to being sold out, and we opened it at 2. What time is it now? 8? 8:30, something like that.
time check.
Is it only 6? Oh my God.
Where are we?
We're indoors. I don't even know if the sun is up, the sun is down. I have no idea what time it is. So, 4 hours in, we're 100 participants already sold. So it'll be great. One thing I wanted to cover though is just some minor details about like rental bikes and stuff. So we do have, obviously the whole fleet is open for reserve rentals. So
Did you sell out last year on the rentals?
No, we didn't sell out. And this year, we're going to have even more bikes. I mean, we have more bikes now.
Cool.
So we have all the new Trek Stash bikes. And so we're going to have even more. So if you're not comfortable with the bike that you're riding, and you want to rent one of ours, you could totally call ahead, call the park after you register, after you get into the event, and reserve a bike for that Friday.
And adding to that, I think that some women who they're perfectly comfortable on their mountain bike,
Absolutely.
but maybe they are really wanting to take that next step for advancing their pumping and jumping, and it's awesome to rent a jump bike and just try
Yeah.
something new too. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I would encourage that.
Yeah, and our jump bikes are the most popular. So they will be the first ones to go. So I would always encourage, obviously, if you're not bringing a bike to the event, definitely call ahead to reserve
Right.
a bike. But, if you're kind of like, well, should I bring my bike? Should I not? Whatever. Our bikes are awesome, and you can reserve a bike. Totally recommend doing that because we will sell out of rental bikes. But for the weekend as well. If you're going to be here for
Right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
Yeah, try something different one of those days.
yeah, try something different that day. And we're also, for the ones that don't get in, for the ones where we're sold out and then we start a waiting list,
Yeah.
right? Are there wait lists on the Bike Reg page?
Yes, on the Friday page, and then also on those extra clinics for Thursday and Saturday also.
Okay, so there's wait lists, so you'll get on that wait list. But even if you don't get in, let's just say you just missed the cut. Even the Saturday, just coming to ride and be with everyone, and
Yeah.
the Sunday, and even coming in on Thursday night, because the coaches are going to be here. There's going to be some clinics going on and stuff, but there's going to be a lot of ladies here.
For sure.
Like, come and ride. Just
Yeah.
come and ride and hang out with the ladies.
Definitely, and then come in at 4 on Friday. And
Come in at 4 on Friday and ride. There's going to be a lot of ladies riding still. There's going to be a lot of people here. It's such a good time. It's such a great event altogether. And then we're doing the Friday night party,
yes,
which anybody can come.
anybody and everybody should.
Everybody should
I-
come to the event.
I
Yeah.
wish we talked about that sooner in case anyone's got tired of watching this and it's like. Sorry,
Everybody's still here. Everybody's still watching.
Everybody
Everybody's
needs-
still tuned in.
You don't understand how excited I am that it's back at the Sheraton.
So
the
we
old
moved
Holiday Inn.
we moved the party from the Marriott to the 6th floor of the Holiday Inn, which there is some history.
Sheraton 4 Points.
Did I say Holiday Inn? Oh my gosh, am I still saying that? So it's always been Holiday Inn for me,
Right.
but now they've
It'll
changed their
always be permanent.
flag. I want to talk property talk here for all the hotel people out there. They've got a new flag, and it's Sheraton 4 Points, still owned by Marriott. But anyway, It's still the same building, but they've done a bunch of updates, and they still have that 6th floor.
Cool.
So we're talking with Lisa over there at Sheridan Four Points.
So it's a party floor still.
It
It's
is
like
a-
you come out of the elevator and it's just like you go to the bar and the party. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
Private party, private floor.
Private floor, private party. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I think, were like, "Oh, I didn't know we can go to the party." Of course
Oh,
you can go to
really?
the. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We had people saying, "Well, I didn't think I could go to that. I thought it was for women only." No, no, no. The party's for everybody.
Yeah.
We want everybody to come.
Yeah, I think one of the comments when we took feedback last year or something was not enough guys at the party.
Not enough guys at the party. You hearing that, guys? All right, just making sure you heard that. But yeah, guys, girls, whatever. It doesn't matter. Come to the party on Friday night. It's a good
They
time.
don't allow dogs. I checked on that, so
Oh, is that a thing?
yeah,
Oh.
I did check. But yes, guys and girls.
Okay, guys and girls, no dogs.
No dogs.
What about parrots?
I didn't check on that.
Hamsters?
I'm
Guinea
sure
pigs?
that you call it your, what is it? Your
Oh,
comfort
emotional
animal.
support?
Yes.
Oh,
Probably.
okay. I'm sure you could probably, there's some red tape there. I'm sure we could probably get
I'm
around.
having ideas about a new party.
Emotion-
theme. Emotional support.
Oh, would that be stuffed animals?
So there is a theme though. The theme for the party is colors.
Colors?
Yeah.
Like red,
Color.
white,
Color.
blue,
I should
green.
Say color. Open to interpretation. So that makes it really easy for people who don't like to stress out about dressing up or having to get anything for a party. Just whatever. Wear your brightest thing. Or for creative people who want
Or
to
you-
take it to an extreme, you could go wherever you want with color.
So you could be the brightest color or the darkest color.
That's
Doesn't
only
matter.
2 ways to interpret it. There's
Well, that is true.
infinite.
That is true. So colors. Okay, this is the first I've heard.
Yes.
So that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it came up in a vote. I'll just say that.
Came up in a vote.
Yes.
Was this the
Yeah,
coach's
everything's
vote?
Official.
Did you send like a multiple choice?
A doodle
Like-
poll or whatever it's called.
Oh,
maybe.
oh.
Something like that. Monkey survey monkey.
Survey monkey. Okay. That sounds
yeah,
great.
I take all of this it's really serious. Go to the party and express your color.
So party is Friday night.
Uh-huh.
Private event is from 8 to 4 on Friday, and that just happens to be Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to get less people?
It seems like it's always been around Valentine's Day, right?
It has,
And it
yeah.
seems like I feel like people used to complain about that 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
But I feel like people have gotten used to it.
And that's just the
it's
weekend that we do it?
Yeah, Valentine's Day, this is our gift to ourselves, and if you're got a significant other that's a male and wants to come up and join the party, that's awesome. You
Yeah.
can still have Valentine's together.
Yeah, I always was like, well, if you're into riding or if you're just looking for something to do for your significant other, for your wife or your girlfriend or
better,
whatever,
yeah.
like what better way than take them to Women's Weekend and have them hang out with a bunch of people
Right.
there. I don't know. I was always like, I think it would be awesome.
Yeah.
But, not everybody is so into biking like we are.
True.
I mean, this is life for us.
Right.
I mean, this is what we live, breathe, and just every day of our life. So, yeah, I get it, but I don't think it's an issue anymore.
Yeah, I don't.
I think that the event has gotten to the point now to where like we might be sold out in less than 12 hours. I mean, it's very possible that could happen. I mean, we keep checking the numbers and stuff, and it's getting really close. But if you do make the cut, make sure you reserve bikes. Make sure you come to the party on Friday night. Is there anything else that we can tell them? Like, they can bring their own equipment, obviously. If you have a helmet that's comfortable, please bring that.
Obviously.
We do have
helmet.
some rental helmets, but it's always best to wear and ride what you're comfortable in. So that includes your bike and your helmet and your pads and stuff like that. And would you suggest wearing pads in here?
I never ride without knee pads and shin pads here, and elbow pads, honestly.
Right.
So
right.
yeah, I never go without them because it gives me a little more confidence to try something new, especially if the shin pads take a shinner. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. So clips or flats?
flats. absolutely. I mean, for Rae's.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I really like to encourage people. And I know I was horribly uncomfortable the first time I switched over to flats was to ride here. And an hour later, I went to the car and got the clips and put them back on. I was like, screw this.
That was the first time you were here?
Yes. Yeah. So
So
years ago was the first time on going back to flats because I started on clips.
Okay. So you went back to flats and you rode for
Well, someone said I should
hours?
ride flats
Yeah,
here.
that's good advice.
So I made it maybe an hour and was like, yeah,
Can't do it.
no.
So you went back to clips.
Yes, back to clips. Back in my happy place and rode my clips. Then the next, we were here for, I think, for 2 days in a row. And the next morning I had the flats back on and maybe I made it a couple hours. And then
Put the clips back on?
Yes, yeah.
I didn't
But then
know that
yeah,
story.
Yeah, I mean, this is a long time ago. But then I went to the flats and, you know, I don't know, is it a thing? Did they say once you go flat, you never go back? I guess not really at all. But.
Well, I would like to say that because I would encourage people to really kind of stick it out.
Yes, definitely stick it out because once it opens the doors to so many things flat pedals do. Flat pedals and a dropped seat. So
Right.
I don't know if you can see, but yes, low. As
Very
low as
low.
you can possibly go on your seat, and the flat pedals are the two big things I would
Right.
recommend for all the females who join us.
Right. And so since we're on sort of clips and flats and we've been talking about instruction and stuff, so, you know, if you're not comfortable riding flat pedals and you're just like, there is no way I'm riding flat pedals, what would you say to a person who's coming to the event?
I would say connect with someone so you can get a decent pair of flat pedals because flat pedals aren't all the same. So if you get the cheapest pair, they're not always easy to stay on.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you get a good pair, they're going to be easy to grip, way more grippy than I would have ever imagined before I rode them. So get a decent pair of flat pedals and just express to your coach in the first session. A lot of them will even ask, hey, this is my first time on flats. Are there any tips? And there are definitely tips we can share first off for people new to flats, and that's often a thing we do early in the first session. So
Nice.
there are things we can help you just stay engaged with your pedals and get comfortable with them right away.
I call it sort of like you're quitting a bad habit, even though clips aren't a bad habit, but it's kind of like getting over the hump.
Yeah.
Like, do you agree? Like, there's this moment that happens when you're riding where you kind of almost forget about it. Like, if you wouldn't have given up on flats quickly, an hour I think is quick. Like, if you would have just stuck with it a little bit longer, do you think
Well, the thing is, at that time I was new to Rae's also, so that's a lot. It's a lot new to throw
True.
at a person.
True.
But when you have the coaching and the support around you, you know, I didn't have anyone giving me tips. Okay, well, you know, try doing this and feel this with your pedals. So I kind of hear what you're saying, but I don't feel like it was a moment so much as it was a little more gradual for me, but.
Right.
But definitely,
Well,
I mean, like 2 days here and you're fine. You'll
right.
get comfortable. That's all it takes is 2
Right.
sessions here, I would say.
Right. So definitely you would encourage people to wear flat pedals if they're coming to the event to be coached, to
Yes.
be in this environment where you may be asked to do things that are maybe a little bit out of your comfort level, or maybe try things that you've never done before.
Yes.
And doing that, having the flat pedals to be able to just put your foot down in a moment,
Yes.
you know, could save you.
Yes.
Basically, from getting hurt, right?
Are
Are you going to put your foot behind your head?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't know, maybe I could.
No.
But what's as equally as important, we should say, though, is the
Smooth
bottom
bottoms.
shoes. Not just the standard sneakers or tennis shoes that have all the grooves for hiking. So a smooth bottom shoe.
Right.
Or like Vans or skate shoes or
Right.
flat shoes, specific shoes, but you don't have to spend that much. You can just get some Vans, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think it's important to wear flats, getting coaching and instruction and stuff. I think it's key. Is there anything else that you can tell the girls that are coming to the event that would help them along? Because we do get a lot of people that say, I'm just getting into it. Like, I don't even, like, I've only ridden once, like in the fall, and then it started getting real crappy out, and I haven't been able to ride at all. Should I go to this event?
And my answer to that would be, this is exactly where you need to be.
Right.
Because
That's what I would say
that's
too.
what this is for. So yes, come and be part of it. And I know you'll be nervous. We're all nervous, though. Everyone there has got a little bit of nerves for whatever reason, whether they're going to try something new, or the coaches, that we always get a little nervous. And I mean, but we talk about it, and it's all good. And that's why we're here, is for people just like that. That's why we want to just open it up and make them feel welcome. And I mean, the more beginner you are, the happier I am you're here. So
yeah, and for me too. And I'm not, I'm not doing any instruction or anything, but having new people come to the park and really kind of take that leap, because there's people who don't come here because they're afraid of the park. They've heard some horror stories, or they've heard one friend's account of them hurting themselves or something like that. And it's like, okay, well, I mean, you could hurt yourself anywhere. If you're riding a bike anywhere, even on the sidewalk in front of your house, if you fall over, it's gonna hurt. Well, it's kind of the same thing here, only you're going over some stuff, but we have something for everyone. And it was your first time here, but you got to see all of the changes that we did this year. And some of the stuff in the beginner room has, what I think, has a lot of potential for instruction in that space.
Definitely. I think the beginner room changes are the best changes, because they really made that room more beginner friendly.
Yeah.
It could be, especially for a new person, a little bit sort of overwhelming to navigate, and I think it just simplified it. I was gonna say dumbed it down, but not really. It just made it more clear. Like, I can go here and practice this, or this line and practice this, and
right. And the obstacles are kind of by themselves. They're not on a trail.
Yeah.
So you don't have to pick a trail and do every obstacle on the trail.
Right.
You can do just one obstacle and turn off and go around.
Honestly, it's just much more of an actual beginner room now.
Yeah.
Than it was before.
Well, that was the key with us, that we wanted, like, it's been called the beginner room since the very beginning, since we knocked down that wall and opened up that space. It's always been known as the beginner room, but for the last couple of years, it wasn't all that beginner, with that rock garden in there and the jumps.
Totally.
So I wanted to just completely strip it down to nothing, and then just build certain obstacles or features that were teachable, or at least, could be
definitely
teached. So
I love the drops in there. Small, medium, and bigger. That's perfect.
Yep. Rollable drops, which was pretty cool, because I'll take people over there and go, do you know that you can roll this drop? And they're like, what? No way. Like,
don't get me started on the roll down, because I'll take another hour.
Right. But I think that, as the years go by, we're tweaking and trying to make things better, and trying to make things to where those new people coming into the sport, make them comfortable, so that they can come here and ride all winter, and buy an annual pass and be part of the community and the culture. And but Women's Weekend is a little different than that, because we get people that are coming in from all over the country. Like, not just coaches, with the coaches come in from all over the country, but the participants are coming in from all over. And it's incredible.
One of the cool things on Bike Reg, and after we do fill up, I'll post it, but you get that map that has little sort of hot spots from showing where everyone's come from, and it's pretty awesome that people are coming from Texas and Oregon and Canada.
And it will be like their pilgrimage to Rae's for Women's Weekend. And they'll sign up for the Friday private event, and they'll come for that. But they'll stay for the whole weekend, and it's their trip. But they're coming from Georgia or New York or Montana or, crazy places you would never think, But that's what they do. They come every year for Women's Weekend. So I think it's a great event. And, obviously, I'm so glad that you are being the director and the head coach and like getting all this stuff together. And then we got Brooke coming in also that's been helping a ton. My wife Diana has helped out a lot behind the scenes, and we bring some other people in to kind of help a little bit here and there. But if we didn't have all those people, man, it would be terrible. It would be absolutely terrible.
Well,
but it
wouldn't be
takes so
terrible, it
many.
just wouldn't happen.
Well, yeah, that's true. It wouldn't happen. But even if we tried to make it happen with just less people or just one person, it's almost one person's job to do that. Like an event this big is a lot of work.
Yeah,
Is
it
a lot
takes
of
a
work.
team, for sure.
And as you know, because you put together one of the best events besides Women's Weekend ever. You know where I'm going with this, right? The Mayhem Enduro. And I know everybody who's still watching this are going, bring back Mayhem. Bring back Mayhem.
What did he sell? I don't know. He shipped us something. No, he ordered something. And, because he has a bike shop. And he got whatever it was in the mail. I don't remember what it was. And on the receipt it said, "Long live the Mayhem."
Oh, did it really say that? Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, the Mayhem Enduro was something you guys put together, right? I mean, you guys started it as like kind of just something fun to do. Is that how it all started?
For the club.
Okay.
So the Mayhem actually goes back probably 15 years. It started out as an endurance ride. I don't know if you know that. So
I kind of know the story a little bit.
it was our club fundraiser, and I know I have to give props to Heath because honestly, you maybe know him enough now. He's always like a couple years ahead. He really is. And so he got on the enduro a couple years before it got sort of popular around here in the U.S. And so we changed over from the distance ride to the enduro format. And still being just the club fundraiser, but also something for us to sort of get excited about and bring people to our trails, and a reason to just put more effort into our trails and make them better for us to ride too.
And the trails you're talking about are AOA trails?
Yes.
What does AOA stand for?
Appalachia Outdoor Adventures.
Okay.
Our mountain bike club.
And how many trails in that area does that?
Well, the enduro is the wilds, of course, but we have Dillon State Park, which is outside of Zanesville, and McGraw Edison Park, and then Horns Hill in Newark, which is a little downhill.
What is Star Hill?
Star Hill is different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's its own thing with a lot of politics. So.
Oh, okay, I got it. I've never ridden there before, so I don't know.
Star Hill is everyone's and no one's, I would say.
Okay. Well, the Mayhem Enduro really got big to where you started getting like factory riders coming. And did you have to put in like a pro class for these guys?
We had.
Or was it just like an expert?
We had solo and we had the team because we wanted to keep it fun for everyone. And the solo was, I think it was open. I don't think there was actually a pro level. There was sort of an expert open, and but yeah, we got Jeff Lenoski, got Marla Streb, Iago, Gary.
Yep.
Just to name.
I think Gus Michaels came.
Gus Michaels, right? And he took it the last.
And who was the other Yeti guy that came down too? I don't remember his name. I'm so sorry. But watching those guys ride that course was just amazing. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's the way you're supposed to do it.
It was really awesome.
I get it.
Yeah, and there was a couple things in particular that, well, one where, we built a hero line, and none of us took it, but actually see, I think.
Was this the stage 5?
This was 3 out of West Nile, and the end was sort of all these rocks, and the hero line was to launch the rock almost down to the gravel, and then you had this crazy little step up to just finish.
Right, yes.
So, a couple of people actually sent that big line down all the rocks, and I think Lenowski might have been the first to hit it, or his year was the first one anyone did.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah,
if anybody's going to do it, he definitely would be the one to send it, for sure. But, so the Mayhem is no more. You guys took a break. is not doing it anymore.
Sabbatical. It's officially on sabbatical.
Okay. So there's a chance, like Dumb and Dumber. Remember that, where the guy goes, "You mean there's a chance?" There's a chance, but I'm not going to put any pressure on it because I know it is. And the reason why I mentioned that is because Women's Weekend really is this big thing, and it takes a lot of effort to put it together. And something like the Mayhem Enduro, when you're talking about timing and you're talking about advertisements and sponsors and food and camping and mowing, and I mean, I could keep going on and on.
Right.
I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg of what goes on.
Yeah.
But it gets to be a lot, and it consumes your whole summer.
And you want to do better every year.
I know.
So that's the thing too.
Well, so, officially, I mean, we hang out periodically. I wish we could hang out a little more, but I've told you very many times, thank you for having the event, because it was the most fun event
It's awesome to hear people.
I have ever been to, and I hope it comes back one day. But I'm not the only one who thinks that. Everybody that's been on my team, everybody that I've invited to come down, to invite them to come down to say, look, it is a race, and we are racing, but that's not why we're here. Like, if you're here to win, you're probably in the pro class or something, but we're not here really to win. We're just here to have a good time, and that's usually what it is.
Yeah.
Camping up there on that spot. I mean, it was really cool. So, and Heath is somewhere here in the park, but definitely from everybody who's a big fan of the Mayhem, thank you for doing it, and we hope that it comes back one day.
Yeah, I mean,
for sure.
That's the thing that compels us right now. I mean, yes, club fundraiser, and we're all about that. We could have money to build trails and rent equipment.
Yep.
But I mean, for Heath and I, it's putting something cool out there for people who appreciate it. That's the drive. So thanks for that.
Well, there is a lot of people out there that have never put anything together like that and don't understand how much time it takes out of your personal life.
Yeah.
And you guys have jobs, and you guys go to work, and then you get off, and then you are basically working again on all these little things, and it's a lot of work. So I know me and a lot of other people really appreciate it. So thank you for doing it.
That's awesome.
So are you still coaching? Are you still doing a lot of coaching stuff?
I am doing. I did a little less this year. This year got a little busier on my other work.
Right.
Veterinarian side of things.
Right.
So I did some just one-on-one lessons, and I really enjoy that.
Right.
And back down a little bit on the groups. Earlier in the year, I did a couple certification courses, so that was cool because we've been able to do them at the house.
Yeah.
So that it's awesome to be able to use the property in that sort of way. So I don't know if I'll end up doing some more of that in the spring, but.
Cool. So I obviously love the property in the house where you're at, and you've made some additions. You put on a big deck, which has been really cool. Mm-hmm. You guys have been using that?
Yeah, we just got the hot tub up on there.
That's awesome. And then you dug this huge pond out there, so you guys have this summer fling that you guys put together on the 4th of July
party,
where you guys do lake jumps and stuff like that. And then you guys built a big jump line.
Well, we used all the dirt from the pond and put that up on the hill and then made it into a jump line.
Of course. I mean, what bike rider doesn't do that, right? So then you have a jump line, and then the jump line kind of ends into this cool pump track that used to be like this horse stable kind of thing.
Right, horse
And then you guys have a little bit of mountain bike trails in the back.
And don't forget about the motocross track.
And then the motocross track too, so you have that too. It's all...
Hashtag.
She's living the dream, folks. Living the dream.
It's true.
I thought I was living the dream.
Right?
I'm jealous, actually. So so you ride enduro, right? Is that it for the moto side of things?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Enduro?
Mm-hmm. I'm still figuring it out, but yeah, enduro.
Right. So you do moto, you ride mountain bikes, you do some gravel rides, just about everything on two wheels. And then you're going to learn to ride a unicycle this summer, right? Is that news to you?
Two wheels, yeah, that'd be news. I think two wheels is good. I mean, I don't feel like a superhero on a BMX bike, so I feel like I would have to get better at that before I go to a unicycle somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the property's great. So that just right there, just the jumps, the pump track, the property, just keeping it mowed and just
Yes.
keeping like all that stuff. And then you've got these animals and you foster some animals from your vet clinic.
Yeah,
And then,
kittens.
yeah, kittens. So you're doing all that. I mean, your life is just so full of stuff that mayhem has kind of taken a back seat to some of
Right.
that stuff, because I mean, you do need a break. Plus, you guys want to travel a little bit and see some different things. And I know, like myself, I still have a sort of a bucket list riding checklist, and I'm sure you still have that as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
Like, I definitely want to do this. I want to ride here. I want to ride there.
Yeah.
So I have that list as well. So I know how important that is once you get to a certain point in your life to where you're like, look, I need to knock these out. So it's good. So what's on your list for coming up in the summer? So after Women's Weekend and like after Rae's closes, like what's the big trip that you're planning?
Well,
Is it going back to Peru?
after Rae's closes, because I was actually telling Brooke that this morning I just got accepted to go on this spay neuter, invited to go on this spay neuter, volunteer event down in Puerto Rico, which would be leaving the day after Women's Weekend. So I'll be like,
So you're gonna go?
Spaying. I think so. I don't think I can turn it down.
I think it would be fine, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's
whatever.
a lot going on for the weekend, but you're about 2.5 hours away from Ray's. You live about two and a half. So yeah, by the time you get home and then you get on a flight, you go to Puerto Rico where it's beautiful weather, and then you're basically working, right? Spay and neuter all animals,
Cats and dogs.
cats and dogs. Okay, cool.
So that's kind of new, but I'll probably get to do that, so that'll be kind of awesome and different. Some smaller things, like definitely some more Arizona riding, because we have some buddies down there who,
Cool.
especially the last couple of years, have just been dialing in the trips when we go. So now we just go it's kind of the most perfect shuttling, mountain bike, all ride trips you can imagine.
That's awesome.
And they're all into it, yeah, so it's pretty cool. But the big thing is Peru was awesome, and I would think unmatchable in so many ways that we got to do that last year. So the only thing we thought we could do next would be Nepal, so we're going to head to Nepal next fall.
I've heard some things. I think my wife Diana was invited to go to Nepal to do a mountain bike trip, like an all
It
girls.
seems like there's been a little surge. And I
Yeah.
noticed some people posting some things. They've just been going to Nepal, and it's like, oh, other people are thinking the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been on my list for a while, and I think, yeah, getting those high altitude trips out of the way.
Out of the way?
Not out of the way, but go ahead and do them sooner than later, I guess I
Yeah.
should say, because it's rough. It's kind of rough on me. It's awesome and amazing,
Right.
but the altitude is kind of rough.
I think just being in a different country and riding your bike, and like I'm sure that like those things kind of cross your mind every now and then. Like, gosh, what happens if I go down and maybe hurt myself? Not horribly, but what happens if I have to go see a doctor or get an X-ray or something? Like, how does that all work?
Right.
I mean, do you think about that before you like go to another country?
We get the proper insurance, and it's in the back of your mind, but
Yeah.
right.
One was I was doing a clinic, and I was doing
brings
cornering.
on injuries in me too.
Right? Like when you're doing a clinic and you just think, oh, I'm just teaching people how to ride. We're just going nice and slow. We're in the
Yeah.
grass. Like, it's no big deal. Well, I was teaching cornering, and I'm leaning the bike over and, shifting my weight and doing all that. And then for some reason, it just slipped out.
Yeah.
Because I was going it's that little bit of an angle, and I came down and just hit my elbow, and it kind of went up. And then it just did me in. Like I was done. I was like, I can't believe just that little bit
That sucks.
did that. Yeah. So I've been fighting it ever since. I had a couple X-rays, but there's nothing showing in the X-rays, so I have to do physical therapy. But it literally wakes me up in the middle of the night, like it's bad.
Yes. Yeah.
And is
steroids in
that
there.
yours too?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you have to ice it and like all kinds of.
Probably it wouldn't hurt, but no, I've been like rubbing stuff, taking stuff. and
Yeah, me too. So I'm at that point now to where I'm just like, I got to do something because
Yeah, I'd
here it
schedule a
is.
steroid shot.
Here it is. We're going on 2020, and the new season. So we have to start looking. Being bikers, we're already looking towards the weather turning and being nice again, and like we're outside and riding, and I have to get it fixed. Like something has to.
Yeah, you don't need to deal with that.
No, but I've been dealing with it since July,
Yes.
and it's just terrible.
Steroid shot.
Well, I got to do physical therapy right now
Yes,
before they'll
okay,
even
but-
do an MRI. But yeah,
You don't need an MRI. Just get steroid shot.
do you have one with you?
No.
What?
Sorry.
Don't you carry around that in your little veterinarian bag?
Right.
Just in
You have
case?
to start barking and put on.
Well,
ears
I
and
could put
tail.
on like, what do they call those people that dress up as furry animals? What do they call those? I know you guys are saying it out there.
I know.
But it's something that they dress up in like a full costume and they call them something. Not bronies.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm thinking of the people who do like kid and play and stuff. So I think I'm thinking. Is that the one you're
Maybe,
thinking
but
of?
these people dress up as like
Yeah.
full costumes and
Totally.
like it's a thing for them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Expressing themselves.
I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'd be malpractice if I gave one of those people a steroid shot.
Yeah, you'd have to knock me
get-
out
you get
first
up
because
with
I'm not good at needles. You'd have to completely like sneak up on me and stab me and go, "You need this."
Yeah, you do. I'm telling you.
Well, anyway, so if we just wanted to wrap it all up, we would say, sign up now or you're not going to make the cut, which is
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, I don't know when you're going to post this though, because
This will go up.
maybe not
No,
sign
this will
up
go up
now.
pretty. This will go up pretty quick.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign up now.
Yeah.
Don't wait any longer.
I know. So if you didn't make the cut, don't worry. Please come. Please come for the weekend. Please come and hang out. It's a great time. Bring a friend.
Come to the party.
Come to the party on Friday night. There's just going to be a lot going on, and hopefully we will have a food truck out here for Saturday, which we've had in the past. It's been great.
All about the food.
Yeah. And plus, if you've never been to Cleveland before, the food here is amazing. If you can find those little places here in Cleveland to go and eat, and if you need a list of places, just come and see me or my wife or you. You know all the good places. So, and we'll give you a list of places to go. And just, if you come to Cleveland, don't eat at a chain restaurant.
Right.
Just don't do it. Like, there's so many good places to eat here that it would be a shame to do that. So we'll send you to Fatheads, or we'll send you to Barocco, or someplace really, really cool. So anyway, please come for the event, and you get to meet Super Rae, and you get to meet all the coaches that come in from all over the country, and I can't wait to see all of them again. It's such a great time, and maybe if Rae is feeling good, Rae the man is feeling good, maybe he'll come out and say hi
That'd be awesome.
to everybody. And, we always hope for that. So maybe that'll happen. No promises, but it would be great.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and thank you, Rae, for keeping this place alive and going.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rae, R-A-E, for keeping Women's Weekend alive and happening. So I thank you very much for everything you do, which you do a lot. And I know that sometimes you're very modest about what you do and all that, but you do a lot. And thank you very much for doing it. And I certainly appreciate it, and everybody out there does too.
Well, it's too kind. I'm stoked to have the opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. So we'll see you on the next Helmet Talk. Rae Gandolf, Super Rae. Bye, guys.